Alright, y'all, here we go. Here we have a back session that we're going to go work up rep for rep, set for set. And remember when I train back, I like to start my workout out using pull-ups. Pull-ups I find to be a great exercise to really get the body and mind into zone and dialed in. And then we go for overhand grip. Sometimes I may go neutral, underhand, but most times overhand grip. And I normally aim for anywhere between 30 to 50 reps, doing sets of 10s on pull-ups in particular. The reason why it's between 30 and 50, it really depends on how long it takes my body to warm up and to dial in. And the goal is to have good strict form, relatively speaking, get a good stretch at the bottom, get a good squeeze at the top. The goal of the warm-up is to really allow the muscles to wake up. Your back, your shoulders, your forearms, your elbows, every little part that's a part of the story. And as you can see, I normally wear a hoodie when I do my back sessions. Or actually, most sessions in general, I wear a hoodie. Because I like to get warmed up. I like to keep my body as hot as possible so that my blood can get flowing at a faster rate. So I've already knocked out 2 sets here. 10 reps, looking good. Here on my 3rd set, I got into work. You'll notice about halfway in, my form will start to break. Right about here. I can see my tempo changes a little bit. I have a little more rock. That's when I know my muscles are starting to tap out and the wake up that I want for my muscles are where I would need them to be. So for here, it was at 30 reps. Now I'm warmed up. I'm good to go. Take the hoodie off, and it's time to really get into the work that's set up for the day. So we're going to hit it hard and hit it intense. Keep it short. So here's our first exercise. I'm starting off this back session with a superset. I'm starting here with pull downs using an underhand grip or a supinated grip, and supersetting that with overhand medium to wide grip seated rows. I prefer to use false grip, which is when all of your fingers are around the same side of the bar when I do my back training and really in all my training altogether, including all upper body training. I get a better contraction that way, especially on my back or on my chest when I'm training, but today's back. Because my forearms have a tendency of taking over a lot when I train back. So I have used a false grip more often than not. Once in a blue moon I may use a traditional grip, but not often. But anyway, the goal of the pull downs and really engaging your back is using a full range of motion. Here we have the seated rows. One thing I always like to state, you can use any attachment on the seated rows that you want. Right here I have a straight bar, overhand, wide grip. And sometimes I use the traditional grip, but you want to change it up. Every different grip gives you a different stimulation. But at this angle right here, we also get a great shot of my favorite workout pants. Yo, I love these pants so much. I've had these pants for years. I've had so many great workout pants. I think it's more like a superstition now that if I wear them, the workout's going to be great. Or maybe I love the pants because my wife hates them so much. I'm really not sure. But those are my pants of all pants. If I'm going to work out, if I'm wearing those, you best believe I'm planning on putting some work in the gym. But here, get a good stretch, get a good squeeze. The first sets on any exercise for me really are like feelers. Getting the body into the groove, waking the muscles up even more beyond the warm-up, and really dialing the body in more. I don't jump right into my heavy weights right away because I think it's more like a crescendo, a gradual build-up of intensity to the point where you finally tap the muscles out fully. On this second set, I chose to have the camera angle a little bit more to the side so you can see the form of my body. If you look at my back, your back has a natural arch to it. There's something very simple that you can do anytime you train to get really great development. You want to get a good squeeze at the bottom of the rep, a good stretch at the top. You want to squeeze and stretch from origin all the way to insertion. So you want to have high quality reps. Don't get so caught up on how much weight you move, but get caught up on how effective you move the weight and how effective you train the muscle with that weight. That is so much more important. And far too often we get into the mindset of just lifting weight, moving weight for ego purposes. But one thing I was taught very early on is check your ego at the door. You're there. You have a job when you walk into the gym. Your job is to engage the muscles as effectively and efficiently as possible. Here's second set on the seated rows. As you can see, I like to get a little stretch forward with the seated rows. It allows me to lengthen my lats out even more and get an even better squeeze and engaging of the muscles. especially in my mid to low back and across my shoulder blades. But we're going to be, again, relatively strict, not too much momentum, but really dial into the muscle that's working. Drive the elbows back. I imagine I'm trying to make my elbows touch behind me, really allow me to squeeze my back muscles and really engage and bring out that detail that I want to bring out as I'm building and developing my body. So now we're on to set number 3. Back to the pull downs, underhand grip. We bump the weight up a little bit after every set. As the muscles warm up, they're able to handle more and intensity builds up. Like I said, it's that crescendo. As you can see, as this set gets a little more intense, I have a tendency to pause and control the weight even more, because the heavier the weight gets, the higher the chance of the weight controlling us. You don't want to let the weight control you. You need to make sure that you control the weight from start to finish. That's your job. Engage the muscle, stretch, squeeze on every rep as best you can. Full range of motion gives you full development. Partial range gives you partial development. So don't shortchange yourself at the gym and just try to move weight for your ego's sake. But really engage the muscles that you want to engage so that they can develop the way you want them to develop. There's no shortcuts here. No shortchange in the process. Here's the second part of this superset for set number 3. As you can tell, you'll be able to read on my face, it's going to get a little more intense. I remember by this set here, set number 3, my back was really filled with blood. It felt really good. And so you want to really keep the body in that tempo. What you're not seeing in between these sets are my rest periods. And normally I rest anywhere between 45 to 90 seconds between sets, depending upon how much time I feel as though I need to recuperate in order to make sure my next set is as quality as it can be. So I don't rush the process, but I don't rest for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes in between sets either, because you lose the flow of the exercise. Now this here is set number 4. This was my last set for this exercise and for this superset. Again, intensity. I'm more fatigued, so I have to give even more focus to the tempo. As you can see, I'm getting a very controlled negative on every rep. Always know this. Your muscle works both ways. Don't just focus on pulling the weight down and letting gravity take it back up. You want to control the weight under resistance. You want to make the muscle constantly be working, because the negative gives you so much more of the trauma to the muscles that we're looking for. And on this set here, I using what I call a continuation set. Basically, my reps I'm aiming to hit is normally about 10. So here I was able to hit 7 reps with good form, and I'll give myself a breather anywhere between 3 to 10 seconds. Go back in and finish out however many reps are left over. In this instance, it was 3 reps. But now, another thing you're not seeing is between my sets, I journal my workouts. I write down what I do. I have journals going back for years. And what that allows me to do is come next workout, next week, I'm able to make sure I'm improving. If I rested adequately enough and if I ate properly, I should be stronger the next time I go back. My conditioning should be better and my strength should be up. I should be able to make that 7 reps on a lat pull down at 8, 9, or 10. And then progress the way from there. Here's the last set on those seated rows. Again, strict form, keep it tight. Really get that squeeze, get that stretch. Squeeze, stretch, focus. You're there to do a job. You're not there to socialize. You're not there to chop it up. You're not there to talk. You're there to do a job and make sure you do your job well. Boom. So on this one, on a pull down, I did a continuation set. Here, I was able to finish out my 10 reps. However, I still had more in the tank. So I started doing drop sets. A drop set allows you to drop the weight down to a lighter weight you can handle a little bit better without breaking form, but still allows you to keep the intensity up, because to the muscle's still feeling really fatigued. So it's a great way of really finishing out every last muscle fiber and really getting as much blood gorged into the back as possible to really push it beyond its comfort zone. That's your job. So here I went for a double drop. I'm actually going to drop the weight a second time just because it was feeling good. It wasn't planned. It just kind of happened. And sometimes when you're in the flow, and your instinct or your gut says keep going, go for it. Recognize this. You will not and you cannot get this workout back. Once you step foot in the gym, if you don't put in that work, then whatever progress you would have gotten from it if you left something on the table, it's left there forever. You never get it back. So you got to go for it. Work, squeeze, stretch, squeeze, stretch. Every single rep, make it count, make it matter. That's your job. And that was the end of that superset right there. And it was good. My back felt really, really good. I could have ended my workout right there because of the amount of stimulation I was able to get out of my workout, out of those 2 exercises plus my pull-ups. But I felt as though I would have left something on the table, so I wanted to finish off on my dumbbell rows. For these rows, I'm doing what I refer to as a 3-point stance, and I'm using my Sean Ray row pattern. I was watching a video, a DVD years ago. I forget which one it was of Sean Ray's. I was watching him train back, and I noticed how when he rode, sometimes he used a different trajectory, for lack of a better word. And for this rowing motion here, you're driving your the dumbbell more so back towards your hip, and with your feet side by side. It's different than having your feet staggered or having one knee on the bench. The muscles stimulate. Once you change your body positioning, you change how your muscles engage. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying they all have their pros and they all have their benefits. So the goal is to exploit them all. But here, as you can see, in the row, when you're training back, there's a certain flow. There's a rhythm. You're not trying to overly use too much momentum, but you don't want to be so strict or herky-jerky that you kind of take your body's flow out of it. So what we're doing here now is making sure we're getting all that we need to get out of each rep and really, really making it count. So set number 1. Set number 1 is real beneficial. Got a good flow. I don't start with my heaviest weights when I start my back workout. It's not necessary. Again, you pick the weight that's necessary for the job at the time. You don't have to go balls to the wall all the time in weight that you pick, but you want to be mindful and use wisdom and make sure that you select a weight that gets the job done effectively and efficiently. That's your job. So now here's set number 2. Get your body position set and get to work. Make sure you feel it. Make sure you feel it. Each rep, my mind is focused on my back. My mind isn't focused anywhere else. My mind is focused on the muscle that should be working. Squeezing, 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 squeezing every single time. Stretch and squeeze. Stretch and squeeze. And I implore you, when you get a chance, to change up your positioning. See how this feels. See how the different trajectory of rowing feels. Even with 3-point stands versus stagger stands versus knee on the bench. All are good. I use them all in my workout, but today it just happened to be 3-point stands felt best. There's that work right there. Makes it real fun. Make it real intense. Set number 2 is down. Set number 2 is finished. Now on to set number 3. Here's set number 3. I think this is around 80 pounds, nothing crazy, 80 or 85. But I don't always train as heavy as I can all the time. If I started this back exercise with a back workout with rows, I would use much heavier weight. The bottom rack that my hand is resting on, those are the 85, 90, 95s, 100s, if I'm not mistaken. But again, your weight is a tool. It's a tool that helps you get the job done. So use your tools and use them wisely. It's not about ego. It's about engaging the muscle and really stimulating it to grow. So don't get too caught up on the numbers you move, but be smart in how you select your numbers and what you ask everybody to do. So now what's going on here, we're finishing it out, really getting a good row, getting a good feel, really squeezing the muscle and making the muscle work effectively. As you can hear, I'm putting in some work. That was our third set. Third set's down, fourth set is up. Now in this last set, I actually went back to my starting weight. I oftentimes do that when I'm training. I will pick a weight, say it's 65 pounds, Second set will be 75, third 85, then fourth set back to 65. What that allows me to do is it allows me to safely progress through weights over time, almost like a laddering system of some sort, so that I can, again, keep my form, really squeeze the muscle, because at this point in time, your back is so fried. I have so much blood in the back that the way I pick is somewhat irrelevant. So my goal is to really make my back squeeze and engage as hard as possible without overloading the rest of my body, supporting muscle groups and whatnot, and stabilizing. So if I can take the weight down a little bit and still get the same amount of work, if not more done, hey, do it. I plan on doing this until the day after I die. That's what I say. So I'm not in a rush to always have to use 150-pound dumbbells all the time. But if 50s work, use 50s. If you need 80s, use 80s. If you need 10s, use 10s. Again, the weight is just a tool. The main thing is, what is the main objective? The main objective is to train the muscle effectively. And that right there was the culmination of my last set. Felt good. I check in with myself every time. Is anything more on the table? Should I do another set? So I do a drop set. If the answer is no, then it's time to go. But before we leave out, I always like to finish off training a very, very particular muscle group with stretching for that muscle group. A great time, a very, very great time to stretch a muscle is right after you finish training it. Now, a simple thing here, I know holding something secure, drop my hips back, lean into it. The reason why it's great to do it right after you finish training it is because you have so much blood flow in that area already. The muscle fibers are fully expanded. You have all this blood to that area surging there. So when you stretch at that moment in time, you really can get a really, really great deep stretch that you wouldn't normally get if you weren't already in a pumped position. When you have that pump, the pump helps you. I know a little thing I tell myself, or I used to tell myself all the time, was that if I'm stretching myself in this moment in time, it's like I'm getting my body used to being this big. So it's not just about the muscles. It's also about the fascia, the other connective tissues and whatnot, apart all along the chain. So the goal is to really stretch and really keep that flexibility, keep things nice and limber. People swear that because you have muscles, you have to be tight and you can't be flexible. But that's a lie. You can be, but you have to make sure you not only work for it, but when you get it, sustain it as well. So stretching is fundamental to the health of the body, health of your joints, and to keep you injury-free, which allows you to train consistently without fail. And that's, know, in order to do that, you got to do that in order to really, really see the results that most people want to see when it comes to transforming their physique. So getting these stretches, that was my last one. So I hope you like what you saw so far, and there'll be more to come.